replace in Microsoft Word. This comes in really handy when you find out you've put a wrong word in there and you want to replace it with something better. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and open up our document. First off, you need to, of course, download it from Canvas. And then we're going to come over here to File. And then Open. So now we got to go open it. And this one is called Groundhog Search and Replace. And we'll hit Open. There we go. Alright. First thing we need to do is put our name up here. So let's double click in the header. Type in your name. And then put in your period. Then hit Tab twice. And go in here and put in the title. Okay, then go up here, or no, you just double click down here, and you're good to go. Okay, and by the way, this is just a sound, and it's not found in the dictionary. This here is a Latin word or a Spanish word or something like that, so we're going to just ignore those. Okay. Alright, so come down here at the bottom. We want to set our margins at 1.5 on the top, 2 left, and 1.5 on the right. Okay, since we have different lefts and rights, then we have to do the custom margins. So we're going to come up here to Page Layout, and then right over here is our margins. Click on Margins, and since it's none of these default ones, we're going to just jump down here to Custom Margins. Okay. The top was 1.5, so I'll just type that in since it was already highlighted. Okay. Left is a 2, so I'm going to highlight it and hit 2, and the right is 1.5, and I'll just type it in like that instead of using the arrows. You can use the arrows, but I think it's quicker to do it this way. Then just hit OK. Alright. So now let's delete this. Okay, now we want to do, for the title, we're going to highlight title. We want to center it, so let's go back to our Home tab. Center. All capitals. Okay, so now over here in our font group, right here, there's a capital A and a lowercase a together. Hover over it, it says Change Case. So hit the drop down and select uppercase. And see, it moved everything up to uppercase. Okay, I'm going to turn on my bold. So there's my bold right there, the B. Okay, down here it says it wants an underline, so I can click underline. That's this one right here. This is italics, which kind of makes the font look slanted, kind of makes it, the font or that particular text stand out from the rest of it. Okay, but we don't need that one for this one. Okay, a font of your choice with shadow effects. So let's go over here to the fonts. We're going to hit the drop down arrow right there. Okay, now Times New Roman, if you look right here, has shadow effect. Okay, I don't know, let's just try a different one here. There we go. That still has the shadow effect, so we're going to use that one, so hit OK. And it changed it for us. Okay, quadruple space means that we hit enter 4 times, but let's come up here to the paragraph drop down. Make sure the before and after is set at 0, and we can change this to double and hit OK. There's 1, And there's 2. Now let me show you a little trick here. If you come up here in our paragraph group, here is our ShowHide Codes. I'm going to turn that on. Okay, and it shows where you hit enter. So these are new lines. Notice between the words you have some little dots. Those are just says that you hit the space bar. Let's see, is there anything else? No. If you happen to hit the tab key, you'll get an arrow like that. Okay, that just kind of shows you what you've been doing. Okay, so we have a double space there, but then we also have 2 regular or single spaces right there. So that's a quadruple space. Okay, I'm going to turn that back off. By the way, those ShowHide symbols do not print out, so you don't need to really worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to delete this section right here. Also this one right up here. Okay, alignment is full justify. So highlight that. Full justify. So we got left, center, right, and the next one over is justify. So click on that. It made the sides look square. Good. So now we can delete this one. Line spacing is double space, so let's highlight everything just like that. Okay, right up here next to the justify, just to the right of it, if you hit there's an up and down arrow with some lines. That's line and paragraph spacing. You can drop down like that, and double space is usually 2. See how it spreads it out like that? Or, let me just go ahead and click it. Or you can hit this drop down right here, and here's our line spacing, and you can switch it from single to double right there. Okay, now it's got some extra spaces, so I'm going to just delete those really quick, because in your reports and letters and stuff like that, you usually want to keep this like that. Get rid of that extra space. So we just did the double space like that. Okay, first line indent on the paragraphs. So here's one paragraph, so first line indent. Legend starts the next one, and the Groundhog Day starts the next one. There we go. So now we can delete this one. Okay, now right down here it says we need to find and replace. Find the word shadow and replace all occurrences in the text with silhouette. And you notice that silhouette is bolded. Okay. Up here on the home ribbon, you go all the way over here to the right hand side. Find and replace. Find means they were just looking for the word, but since we're going to replace it, let's click replace it. Okay. Notice here's find, and here's also replace tab. We also, what are we going to find, and what are we going to replace it with? The find over here only has find the word. You're not going to replace it with anything. But since we're going to replace it, we want to be on this tab. Okay, the go-to over here, by the way, it just says you want to go to a page number, a section, or footnote, something like that, and you just type in right over here what you're looking for. Okay, so that's just extra. Okay, so we're going to find what? Shadow. So type in shadow right here. And then we're going to come down here and type in silhouette, and if you look right down here, this is how you spell it. Okay, so S-I-L-H-O-U-E-T-T-E. It's French. It's a French word. Okay, now if I just hit replace right now, or replace all, it's just going to replace it with the normal text. I need to somehow bold it. So if I highlight it like that, now I can't bold it. That doesn't do anything to it. No. So what we have to do is we got to come down here and click on more. Okay. And then we can come down here and click format. And font. And then right up here we can click on bold and hit OK. And notice it sticks right up here, bold, right underneath the box. Now we're good to go. So you click the less button, and we can click replace. If you click replace, it goes to the next one in line from where your cursor is. If you do a replace all, it will go through and replace everything in the whole document. Okay, so now you need to be careful with this one, because maybe there's some places you don't want the word to change. Like, for example, if the person's last name is Shadow, you don't want to make his last name Silhouette. Okay, he will get mad. Alright, so anyway, let's just click replace. See, now it highlights this one down here. Do we want to replace that? No. So we're going to say find next. There's one right up there in the title. We're going to click replace. Okay, it found another one right up here. Yep. We're going to click replace. Oh, there's another one right there. Click replace. There's one right there. Click replace. And one right there. Hit replace. And oh, there's one up here in our header, so we're going to replace it too. Okay, now it says it's done. We'll hit OK, and we can close that. So we're going to highlight this and delete it. We're done with that step. Okay, now we need to find the word groundhog and replace it with groundhog, but this time it's italicized and bold. Okay, so you remember how to do that? Come up here to the editing, click on replace. This is on the home ribbon. Click replace right over here. Okay, now we just got to go in there and type in groundhog. And groundhog. There. Now it's also bolded, so I'm going to just leave bold on there. But then I'm going to show you a shortcut. So instead of going to more right here, I am going to use my keystrokes, my shortcut keystrokes for that. So if I do a Control I, look, it just added italics in there. Okay. If I do a Control B, this is not bold. If I do it again, it goes away. If I do it one more time, bold is back. So Control B, like boy or bold, is to bold. Control I is to italicize. Control U is to underline. Okay, so those are some shortcuts right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to go on here and click replace all. It goes through and says, okay, it replaced it 9 times. Hit OK. I'm going to close this. See, it replaced it right there, so we really don't need to worry about that. We're going to highlight this. Hit delete. Okay, now we want to find folklore. And we're going to replace it with a synonym of folklore. Okay, so let's just click on find. And we're going to type in folklore right over here. Okay, notice it highlighted the places where it's found. So I'm going to scroll right up here. There it is. There's only one of them in the document. Okay, right here, it says find a synonym for folklore and replace. I'm going to click that. Didn't do anything. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go down here to synonyms. Okay, and then right here, there's a bunch of different ones in here that you can use. So I'm going to call it a legend. I'm going to replace it with legend. It's an ancient legend. Makes it sound mysterious, doesn't it? Okay. We can now delete that part. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for superstition. So just come right over here and see how it stayed up for you. So we're going to type in here superstition. Whoop. I got to spell it right. There it is. You see how it highlights it for you? We're going to come up here in the document. Hey, there's only one place up here too. So I'm going to right click it, go down to synonyms, and you're can pick one of these right here, and I'm going to call it a fallacy. A German fallacy. Okay, maybe I don't like that one. Control Z. Control Z, by the way, is undo, or you can come up here and hit your undo button. Okay, so I'm going to right click on that, go down to synonym, a German falsehood, a German fantasy, a delusion, misconception. How about that one? Okay, see how the sentence changed meanings by giving it these different words from the Thesaurus? A German misconception that if an animal casts a silhouette on February 2nd, the Christian holiday of Candelena Nemes, bad weather is coming. Okay, alright, so there we are. So all we got to do is just come up here and hit save, and you're good to go. Go ahead and save it and upload it.